Welcome to SLP Nerdcast, the #1 professional resource for evidence-based practice in speech-language pathology. I'm Kate Granbois.
And I'm Amy Wonka. We are both speech-language pathologists working in the field and co-founders of SLP Nerdcast.
Each episode of this podcast is a course offered for ASHA CEUs. Our podcast audio courses are here to help you level up your knowledge and earn those professional development hours that you need. This course, plus the corresponding short post-test, is equal to 1 certificate of attendance. To earn CEUs today and take the post-test after this session, follow the link provided in the show notes or head to slpnerdcast.com.
Before we get started, one quick disclaimer. Our courses are not meant to replace clinical advice. We do not endorse products, procedures, or other services mentioned by our guests unless otherwise specified.
We hope you enjoy the course.
Are you an SLP or related professional? The SLP Nerdcast Unlimited subscription gives members access to over 100 courses offered for ASHA CEUs and certificates of attendance. With SLP Nerdcast membership, you can earn unlimited CEUs all year at any time. SLP Nerdcast courses are unique, evidence-based, with a focus on information that is useful. When you join SLP Nerdcast as a member, you'll have access to the best online platform for continuing education in speech and language pathology. Join as a member today and save 10% using code NERDCASTER10. The link for membership is in the show notes.
Welcome, everybody. So this episode is a little bonus episode. At one point in time, we were doing monthly previews here on the podcast to let everybody know what was in store. And to be completely honest, we just got very busy and stopped doing it, but we're back. And we are here to give you a little update about all things Nerdcast, what's on the calendar, what's coming up. And we are going to do our best to do this on a monthly basis. And I am not alone today. I have the privilege of being here with our course production manager, Erin Toohey, who is constantly working behind the scenes. Erin takes care of scheduling, production, web development, curriculum development, podcast publication. She does everything soup to nuts for us behind the scenes. And she is going to join me today to review the calendar. We're going to call this an Erin's announcement. So welcome, Erin.
Thank you, Kate, for that lovely intro. As Kate mentioned, I am the course production manager. I started out at Nerdcast about 1.5 years ago, I think, which is crazy.
Yeah, just about.
So started out mostly just learning the ropes from Kate, and now have slowly taken over more responsibility here in the nerdy world. A little bit about me as an SLP to be. I'm in my last semester at Worcester State University in Massachusetts. And I'm currently working full-time in a hospital in acute care with the inpatient population. So my current interests are in kind of the medical world, but right now just trying to make it through practice and comps and graduation.
You're going to do great. We would not exist without you. So we're so grateful. And I'm so excited to share you with the rest of our community because you do so much for us behind the scenes to make this possible.
Thanks.
So without further ado, let's talk a little bit about what we have coming up. You know these courses inside and out. Tell us a little bit about the free EBP that everyone can expect coming up in the month of February. What are all the golden nuggets that we have to look forward to?
So February is going to be a great month here at the Nerdcast, a busy month. We have 2 new courses coming out for free and then 2 reruns coming out. Reruns are something that we started doing this season just to kind of bring back and highlight some of the great courses that we have and that we've released a while back, but that we feel everyone would still benefit from. So for our new courses on February 13th, we have an 1-hour episode being released with Mary Beth Schmidt, and it's titled "You Can Do It: Finding and Implementing Evidence for the Busy SLP." All of us are very busy, SLP to be and SLP. So that's a great episode in terms of figuring out, how can you not only find the evidence, but also start to implement it into your clinical practice. That one is offered for 1 hour professional development or 0.1 ASHA CEUs. And then frequent flyers of the podcast, AC and Barb, are back They are here with Gender Aligning Voice Modification, the Client's Perspective. And that is a half hour professional development, and it's offered for 0.05 ASHA CEUs. That one will come out on February 27th.
I so enjoyed both of these interviews. First, Mary Beth Schmidt is one of the co-authors on a really important paper related to what evidence-based practice even is in our fields. For those of you who listen to us frequently, you'll hear us always say that evidence is more than just a research article. It's a process. And that's in this episode with Mary Beth Schmidt, we really unpack that a lot, and I'm really excited to share it. And then the episode with AC and Barb, who have been frequent flyers here. We've published a handful of episodes with them.
Those are all linked on the page too.
Yeah.
You can go and check out all their courses because they're so great.
They're so great. And this was a really, really special episode because we had the opportunity to listen to the perspectives of their clients. Their unbelievably generous clients came onto the show with them to discuss their experiences. So I am really, really excited to share that episode. It was a really, really special. So what about the reruns? I love these. These are some of my favorites.
Our throwbacks. So one of the reruns is called Assessment and the Status Quo. And the second rerun that we will be highlighting for the month of February is, but I don't know how to do that, Navigating Scope of Practice. So as a new SLP, I feel those feelings a lot. I don't know how to do that. So I will definitely be tuning into these reruns for sure.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why we made that episode, was because I've been practicing for 15 years, but I'm technically licensed to support individuals who stutter. I'm technically licensed to support individuals with dysphagia. I wouldn't touch those two things with a 10-foot pole because our scope of practice is so wide.
So broad.
And scope of practice is different than scope of competence. And when you're a generalist working in a school or in a clinic or in a hospital, and you're expected to treat whatever quote walks through the door, how do you do that? How is that possible? So that was a very selfishly motivated episode for both Amy and myself. And then the other one that you mentioned, Assessment and the Status Quo, that's also just such a passionate topic here related to the limitations of standardized tests. We rely so heavily on them in our assessments, and yet they are very poor tools for the job very often. And I just love talking about, zooming out 30,000 feet and asking the question, why are we doing this and how can we do it better? So that's really very much the flavor of that episode. And if you haven't heard it, stay tuned. So that's our freebies. That's all of our free EVP. Is there let's talk about what else is on the calendar.
Yes.
This month, because there are some other really exciting things. I'm very biased, though. I always get overly excited.
Exciting. So we have, as of today, there are 3 seats left. So as of today, when me and Kate are chatting, it is February 1st. There's a grad cadet course that is registration's open till Sunday.
Registration closes on Sunday. Well, Saturday, February 4th, because class starts on Sunday, February 5th.
Yeah. And the title of that course is Childhood Apraxia of Speech and Its Place Amongst Complex Speech Disorders. It is offered for 14 hours of professional development. I had to ask Kate twice just to make sure I understood.
And these courses, there is an option for graduate credit if you're in the schools and you would like to move up the pay scale by taking more graduate credits. But these are really 4-week intensives where we work with a content expert with a really specific focus on clinical application. So there are assignments for people to take home. There is a discussion board. So it's very much cohort learning. The classes don't ever have more than 30. So they're relatively small cohorts where you really have an opportunity to talk with your peers, discuss cases. Exactly. And the goal is, after these 4 weeks, for you to have a really improved or increased comfort level or scope of competence in a clinical area. And this course is awesome. We love Mike Bright. He is just brilliant. He's fun. He's funny. He brings
Great
so
for the
much.
Nerdcast.
Yeah, he brings so much to the table. And this course has been a long time in the making. We've been working on this for about 10 months now. So really excited to share it. And that if you miss it, don't worry. There will be a wait list. It will come around again sometime in 2023. We have another intensive 4-week intensive coming up. And the last time we ran this course, it sold out in 4 days. So I'm so excited about it because we haven't had a chance to run it again. So this 4-week course registration is open now. Registration closes on March the 3rd. So class starts March 4th. The focus of this course is really on how to conduct a comprehensive assessment, particularly for our more complex learners. And I already mentioned this because we're releasing this freebie, this free course related to assessments and the status quo. And this 4-week intensive grew out of interest from that original episode, where we really sort of asked the questions, why are we relying on standardized tests? What are standardized tests good for? And when standardized tests don't get the job done, what can we do to really ensure that we're providing thorough, comprehensive assessments for our more complex learners within the time limitations that we have?
Right.
Because we don't have an unlimited amount of time or unlimited resource to really effectively evaluate our students or clients, complex or otherwise. And like I said, registration is open. Early bird registration is actually now up, and that will close in a few weeks. Sign up if you are interested. If you have any questions about any of these courses, reach out to us anytime. And Erin, is there anything else that we want to share with everyone today?
Not that I can think of.
I can think of one thing.
What?
So we have a surprise. We
What?
have something hiding up our sleeves. For the month of April. She's like, what are you doing to me? So in April, we have been working on something pretty big that we have not announced yet, but it's coming, and we will have a formal announcement later this month. It's going to be, it's something that it's a passion project. We've been working on it for almost a year, and I'm just bursting at the seams to talk about it, but I can't talk about it yet, but it's coming. So check if you're not on our email list, get on our email list. You'll get first access to things through our email list. If you are on our social media channels, we will be announcing things there, and stay tuned. That's all I'm going to say. Don't be mad.
You'll have to wait and see.
You have to wait and see.
Yep.
Well, thanks so much, Erin, for joining us. And we will be really good about doing this next month. We will show up again.
Nice to come out from behind the curtain to meet all the nerd captors. And yes, we will come back and be giving these little previews each month to give everybody an idea of what is happening in the Nerdcast world.
That's the goal.
Yep.
That is the goal. All right. Thanks so much, Erin. Thanks, everybody. Reach out anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us in today's episode. As always, you can use this episode for ASHA CEUs. You can also potentially use this episode for other credits depending on the regulations of your governing body. To determine if this episode will count towards professional development in your area of study, please check in with your governing bodies, or you can go to our website, www.slpnerdcast.com. All of the references and information listed throughout the course of the episode will be listed in the show notes. And as always, if you have any questions, please email us at info@slpnerdcast.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to welcome you back here again soon.